Jerome Boateng as he leads Germany out. Now Kevin Trapp will play the first half of the game in goal. The coach has already told us that in the second half there will be a change. The other goalkeeper in the squad will be brought in to play and given a chance to book his place on the plane. Bernd Lehner led by Leverkusen. There is, of course, the missing man, the elephant in the room tonight, Manuel Neuer, who declared himself fit on Friday after a year of foot problems and ran twice in training today and will be on the plane to Russia, we are told. 69th cap for Boateng, a full house.
Meine Damen und Herren, bitte erheben Sie sich nun für die
What a stage it
Nationalhymne.
is.
Sie werden heute Abend gespielt
What
von den
players we have
Brandenburger
in front of us.
Symphonikern unter der Leitung von Burkhard Götze. Wir beginnen
And Brazil's
mit unseren
manager
Gästen
Tite
aus Brasilien.
showed his hand early. A month ago he named 15 of his World Cup squad. Here come the anthems. Important is football to Brazil. In 1962, their president said, we don't have rice or bread, but we have Pelé and Garrincha and Amarildo, and we have the World Cup, and that is what matters. It is the very source of life for so many in Brazil. Joachim Löw's 159th game in charge of Germany. We saw a shot of him. He has a contract to 2020, although he's been linked with such teams as Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain, and indeed Arsenal. think he will stay, though, if they have a good World Cup. Just confirmation of their lineup once again then. Much change from the weekend game against Spain, when they admit they didn't really press well enough early enough.
No, I agree, Jonathan. I don't think it was a particularly intense performance from either side, really, and that's understandable at this stage of the season with so many big matches to come. Players just want to show that they are capable, but not overexert themselves physically, and of course not pick up any injuries. Still, it was a competitive fixture, and as the game wore on, you know, they grew into it and deserved that draw in the end against Spain. 7
changes in all to that side, and of course there's plenty of Premier League interest. Likes of Ilkay Gundogan starting, and Antonio Rudiger as well, and Leroy Sané.
Great atmosphere. If there's any problem, let's communicate in a positive manner.
Good stuff, referee.
Yellow
Well
or blue?
done.
Of course. And green for you, my dude.
He wants to communicate positively.
Not so much sun. Stay on that side. Yes, the best. Enjoy.
This is if Brazil will be staying, put that away to our right-hand side. Dani Alves in his 107th international, playing in the World Cup semi-final of 2014, and he's heading for his 3rd World Cup final. Jonas Eriksson is the referee. Lovely night for football. Spring is on the way, and that, well, that is that's about as strong as they could be here tonight.
Yeah, bar Neymar, of course, who will undoubtedly come back into the lineup once he's fit. Brazil probably cannot be any stronger. It's interesting, actually, Jonathan, that you probably couldn't pick a more hard-working yet talented Brazilian group of players. Actually, all these guys are so impressive without the ball in terms of their high pressing, and that's something that Tite, I think, has demanded and has got in the last couple of seasons. Some of the campaigns with friendlies and, of course, qualifiers for the World Cup have been of a high quality.
He did hint that Douglas Costa would be rested tonight and there would be changes, but that's just the one. Costa out of the side, and Fernandinho starting with Casemiro and Paulinho. There's Willian, who's been in terrific form for club and country throughout this season. Off we go then, in the biggest football match internationally of 2018 so far. Germany, the World Cup holders, against Brazil, the record World Cup winners, of course. No team on earth has won the tournament more times than Brazil, and their 5 triumphs. Joachim Löw. This is up against a very strong lineup tonight. Will it be about tactics? Will it be about formations? Well, he said no, it's never been about that. It's always been about the attitude of his players. But it is interesting that he's saying in the build-up to this, they have moved away from, not moved away, they've now combined traditional German strengths, attitude, effort, work rate with a higher technical culture in the last 4 years.
Germany, that is, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, believe so. Sometimes you just have to accept that certain players won't be able to play in a maybe more physical manner that some of the German players, some great German players, of course, in a different era. And maybe more top-class German players are now playing out of the Bundesliga, so they have a different influence.
Antonio Rudiger, who played just 3 times in World Cup qualifying. He scored against Azerbaijan, one of those 23 scorers I was telling you about earlier. Rudiger starting to the left of Boateng in the Hummels position. Here's Leroy Sané, who came on against Spain for Joachim Löw on Friday. They're not dodging anyone, as we said on Friday, in terms of preparation. Germany to play Spain and then follow that up against Brazil. They have 2 more games before their World Cup opener. They play against Austria away in Klagenfurt on June the 2nd, and then they play Saudi in Kaiserslautern, their farewell game before they head off to Russia. Marcelo.
You're the best, Jonathan. You don't need to avoid anybody. If you believe you are right up there with the other 1 or 2 top nations like Brazil and Spain, and you'll accept any friendly, of course, if it's works out your schedule.
There's Tite, who was very much a pupil of Phil Scolari. In fact, he's a PE graduate, and he studied under Scolari. He's followed him into the job, of course. So I hope he is as successful as Scolari was in the Far East. Goodness me, 16 years ago.
Yes, and Joachim Löw, of course, was assistant to Jurgen Klinsmann, who arguably could be the guy responsible for this transformation, if you like, of...
A bit of overconfidence, perhaps, or was it simply cool Brazilian defending? Here's Kimmich. And now Kroos, not his best game against Spain. Draxler, neither did he. More central role for him, it seems, tonight. Sane with the cross blocked. Just tidied up back there by Paulinho. Some workers in that Brazil midfield: Paulinho, Fernandinho and Carlos Casemiro. All three of them at top clubs. Paulinho leading the league with Barcelona, Fernandinho at Manchester City, and Casemiro, of course, at Real Madrid. Sorry, Evan.
Yeah, no problem. It's certainly the two guys who will hold will be Casemiro and Fernandinho, and Paulinho is his first forward right now, nearly blocking that clearance from Kevin Trapp. The one who's got the ability to get forward and join in with the front three and score a couple of goals as well.
Nowadays, coaches look for top-class distribution from their goalkeepers. It's only Kevin Trapp's third international for Germany. He's yet to keep a clean sheet. He played in a draw against Denmark in a friendly, and then against France back in the autumn. Clears again under pressure. Brazil pressing high early on. Marcelo with the throw. Nearly didn't make it through to Brazil's senior status, Marcelo, in the Junior World Cup in 2005. He was sent off twice in the tournament. They were runners-up. He had a very stormy few years as a junior. Came from a very hard background, did Marcelo. There's a lot of the Brazilian players have over the years.
The Brazilian fans, media and coaches, of course, powerful figures in the federation, not very forgiving of players who have poor disciplinary records.
There's a chance now for the cross from Plattenhardt, and palmed down by Alisson.
Just as Felipe Melo, who was sent off in 2010 against the Dutch, when Brazil were leading and cruising through a Robinho goal, and they self-imploded after his ridiculous sending-off. Never played for Brazil after that. A very fine player, has to be said, in the Casemiro and Fernandinho role, probably with a bit more power than those two. That was the end of his career.
And Marcelo again. He's gone on to play such a leading role for Brazil over recent years. This is his 52nd international. Paulinho, who is really shining at Barcelona this season. Tottenham fans are wondering why they didn't quite see that player when he was at White Hart Lane. One back by Gundogan. Misplaced pass by Germany. Brazil have started to smooth the side. Paulinho, Willian. And Marvin Plattenhardt gets it away. The Hertha Berlin player. Huge roar for him. Here's Sane. Gomez is in the middle. Sane just dwelt on it a little bit too long, and the man who got back at him and won it cleanly and gets it away is Chelsea's Willian.
Yeah, it's great play from Brazil midfield man. Sane just took a little bit too long. Didn't quite get the run he was looking for. Willian is a strong boy.
He's one of the 15 that have been named for World Cup at 18. You can also add to that really Ederson and Neto, the second and third choice goalkeepers. Douglas Costa, who's been rested at the bench tonight. Fred, who's on the bench, and Tyson, the Shakhtar Donetsk players. I think they will go as well. Very few places still to be won. And some big names may well miss out. I mean, Luis seems to be part of Brazil's past now. Alexandro, Danilo, Jamerson, Rafinha, Jadson, Edilson, they've all been named as possibilities. Can't all go. There's Kimmich, who certainly will be there for Germany. A tiny nudge on Mario Gomez. Miranda looks bemused.
I was surprised he wasn't a fixture in 2014. Miranda, Inter Milan, such a terrific defender at Atletico Madrid for a number of years. Some of that stability and real fierceness about going about your job, stopping people scoring, I think that was certainly missing in the 7-1 defeat, you say, with Thiago Silva's absence, along with Neymar, of course. Things that missing was...
He played in the Copa in 2015. He played in the Copa last time around as well, but he didn't make that World Cup side, and his defending wasn't great there either, but it's a flag raised.
Yeah, a couple of plays, take your pick. Certainly Boateng is the one who makes contact with it. He's clearly offside, and Gomez stumbles as he tries to control that ball, and fully committed, as you would expect from a striker in that position. Took him up for his troubles as well.
It's a concern there that a couple of the Brazil players missed it in the air. Miranda was one. They're already looking to appeal. It was offside, clearly. And it played to the whistle. João Miranda again. Collected by Philippe Coutinho. Wonderful talent. The ball had too much pace as he looked for Gabriel Jesus.
It was a surprise. Hit by quite a number of yards.
Perhaps Firmino for Gabriel Jesus in the starting lineup in the summer in Russia? Do you think maybe?
Yeah, possibly. I think he likes that real energy in the front line. Not that Firmino doesn't have it, but maybe just younger legs. That's a toss-up, really, isn't it, between those two?
All of the starting lineup tonight based at European clubs. Name a handful of players based back in Brazil, and he named also for these two matches a handful of uncapped players like Neto, the goalkeeper. I was telling you about Anderson Talisca, Besiktas, another, and William José, who's at Real Sociedad. Here's Coutinho now, a lovely dip of the shoulders has taken him into the penalty area. Bit of a feint, bit of a dummy. There's the pull back, and another poor ball by Coutinho after doing all the hard work. Good ball back in though, and eventually it's lanced away.
Yeah, good break, took his time, didn't he, Coutinho, as you'd expect. Just able to pick out the teammate. Brazil warming to their task.
Marcelo. Fernandinho has made a little run in there, but Coutinho didn't choose to use it. So he goes by Casemiro. That's interesting, QPR. I don't think they could get a work permit. I very much doubt that at that stage they could match the valuation. Currently rated at 60 million. One of the world's best defensive midfield players. Here he is again. Tall, strong. Willian. Take on Plattenhardt. Here's Rudiger.
And you get a clean crossing, Willian, but he's so good at doing it. Just standing defenders up, he shifts the ball and his body so quickly to the right more often than not. When you're watching at home, you're probably thinking, well, it's actually quite predictable. He almost never comes in on the left, onto his left foot.
Brazil have certainly started the stronger.
He does it so well that it's so difficult to defend against.
Coutinho. Miranda again. They've only won twice in their last 8 in Berlin. They seem to be uncomfortable here. There's Leon Goretzka, but Schalke is only 23.
They're easy to play in front of fans, I think, in the capital. Big stadium like this, not like these players are not used to. Big grounds, big crowds. I think there's something that they seem to prefer about the more intimate stadiums around the country, which, you know, they've done that, haven't they, historically, taken it all over the nation, give everybody a chance to be part of the Mannschaft.
Coutinho was fouled. There's a little wriggler. Nudge took him down. As I said on Friday during the game against Spain, 16 of the German squad. That's why I mentioned young Goretzka could be there at World Cup 2022. Which is a frightening thought. That's the way they do things in Germany. It's just a touch back there. Goalkeeper had to rush the clearance again. Rudiger hasn't been impressive with his deliveries from the back.
And he's been put under pressure as well when Brazil have seen the ball going back to him. Maybe they've had a word about that before the game. This is a guy who's looking to cement his place and he may be a little bit nervous. Like if Ter Stegen or Neuer were to hurry a few clearances and make a few errors, maybe it would particularly bother them. They're pretty nailed on in the squad, aren't they?
One of the problems Kevin Trapp has is he doesn't play much football. He's at Paris Saint-Germain. It's not the first choice there. He's only played 3 league games this season.
Totally rushed them.
He's Marvin Plattenhardt. Some of you might not know a great deal about the 26-year-old Hertha Berlin defender in his 6th German appearance. 2 of the World Cup qualifiers. He's likely to go as understudy to Hector. Kimmich will be first choice right back. Kroos will certainly be there. Hero of 4 years ago. Plattenhardt looking to get forward, and there's Dani Alves.
Yeah, they've certainly got quite a few certainties in Germany. We imagine maybe 12, 15. Some Muller, Ozil, and a few.
Very much their first choice defence would be Neuer, Kimmich, Hummels, Boateng and Hector. You'd have Kroos in there, wouldn't you? You'd have Ozil in there.
Yeah, certainly.
You'd have Muller in there.
Yeah, and 1 or 2 others who, if they get themselves fit, will have a good chance.
There's Gabriel Jesus, Coutinho. The dink ball back that was deflected away. Important deflection away by Boateng. Certainly the squads are taking shape and the likely starting lineups are taking place now.
Teammate on teammate, Casemiro on Toni Kroos. Committed a foul, but the kind of determination that Brazil are looking for in the middle of the park.
I don't think it was ever going to be a high-octane international friendly. The second matches of these pairings rarely are, because club football returns, of course, the weekend.
A couple of days' time, but I think just the fact that Tite in particular has picked a super strong side.
And they have that revenge in mind. Here's Coutinho. Gabriel Jesus. To João Miranda. Casemiro. Thiago Silva, and good ball round the corner by Willian to Dani Alves. Headed away by young Kimmich.
Irrespective of what happens here tonight, Jonathan, I'd much rather face Germany once again in the World Cup and win that. That would be real revenge.
Gundogan. Leroy Sané. Here's Jackslow. We've seen very little of him. It's a good pull back though, and Gundogan arriving. Couldn't make decent contact, the Manchester City man.
It was a great ball. Wasn't easy to take, actually. There was pace on it. Nice cutback, but he was travelling himself with some real speed. Yeah, doesn't go with the ball right across the box. And it's not a good height, actually. He just sits up a little bit and comes off the shin.
Be keen to give Gundogan a role in the summer. He missed World Cup 14 and Euro 16 with injury, the Manchester City player. He picked up a very bad spinal problem playing for Germany against Paraguay in August 13. He was out for a year. It's Willian. That's a lovely ball in. The touch though took it too close to Jerome Boateng, who could get it away from Paulinho.
Great cover. Paulinho once again, just as Gundogan was arriving at speed, just not able to really feather that touch, and then probably just try and toe poke it past the goalkeeper Kevin Trapp. And read the situation well. I agree with you, John. It's not going to be the high-octane match, but certainly a determined performance from both sides. You don't think such a strong side as Brazil have, in particular.
Germany got the added incentive, of course, if they avoid defeat here, it would be a new national record, 23 games unbeaten since the semi-final of Euro 16, and they have a chance here with Plattenhart's crossing of a Gomez, and it's squirted away by Thiago Silva.
Could have gone anywhere. Stanley did well to check his run, make sure he was onside, or get himself back from offside. Ball in from Plattenhart.
Tony Kroos with the corner kick. Good header away by Casemiro. Taken by Boateng, and the goalkeeper had to come and punch, and was fouled in the air. We've been waiting to see Alisson, haven't we, at this level, you and I, well, he wasn't ever present, but he was the regular goalkeeper during qualification.
He's highly rated, it must be good if he's keeping Edison Moraes out of the side. Big guy.
He's kept 9 clean sheets in his last 12 games for Brazil, 9 clean sheets in the 16 qualifiers, and he hasn't conceded a goal at club level for 360 minutes.
Big test coming up in a couple of weeks' time. Clean sheets against Barcelona.
You can see right here more details of that a little bit later on. Next Wednesday it is. And through all the Champions League matches we have for you later. But you know where to find them. Home of Champions League football right here. Draxler 1-2 with Sane. To Gomez, offside, I would think. Now, he was offside, but just a question, could he move his feet quick enough there for a top-class international striker at 31?
Yeah, he's quite clearly offside. He's a little bit lazy. He's not looking behind him to see if he's just got to check his run. It's difficult when the ball is actually sort of played in the middle of your feet. You need to then shift it so quickly, get yourself in the goal-scoring position. That's never been his forte, though. Jonathan really has it. He's a great guy coming on to cross on the edge of the box, driving in there, powering over at the far post, latching onto things.
Recalled in September after a year out, Gomez, and he scored against Norway in that recall match. 2 goals he scored in qualifying. He's got a terrific career ratio, 288 club goals in 523. It's Gabriel Jesus, lifted away by Boateng. Worked for Boateng at Jesus' Manchester City, did it? It was there a year. Talks about having a squabble with Balotelli at the time. 20 minutes gone, no goals. Bright start by Brazil, but it's got a bit cagey now.
They're not quite able to keep forcing the issue, Brazil. They are a patient side in possession. You know, and then keeping up this high pressing game is never easy.
It's Kimmich. Decent cross in towards the near post area. There's a good ball by Goretzka. Looking again for Gomez. Oh, they thought that's a corner.
Yeah, it was quite clearly a corner. Only Gomez gets. It's hard to tell actually. Certainly, Thiago got a lot on the ball. Maybe Gomez gets the touch first. Once again, good covering from Thiago, or from a defender who was Boateng a few minutes back on Paulinho. Interesting, he's been demoted as captain.
So much pressure on him in Brazil. Oh, offside against Gabriel Jesus.
Kimmich was the last man. Yeah, he's quite clearly offside. Kimmich stops, then he goes back, then he checks himself. There's huge pressure on every Brazilian captain. I think maybe Tite's reasoning behind that is, I want my 2 central defenders in particular to concentrate on defending. I don't want any added pressure. And we have a full-back, of course, so you would traditionally say, well, his primary role is to defend, but Dani Alves spends as much time in the final third, if you like, as almost any other Brazilian player, so there's a little bit more license And especially with good cover in the middle of the park with the three guys they've got there today. It's probably easier to fill those two full-back positions as well if they go forward, him and Marcelo.
Yeah, there he's picked up a muscular problem against Spain. He'll play any sort of a role. He was going to declare himself fit to the manager today.
Yeah, that's the kind of decision that should probably be taken out of his hands. You would expect that he's wise enough, experienced enough to make the right one. I'm not surprised if there was a phone call from Juventus just to remind him of his responsibilities in a couple of days' time.
Well, they're involved in the tightest title race in European football right now.
It's about the only race, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Big leads.
It's brilliant. To Dani Alves. I wonder if he'll have the same success. Well, it was Thiago Silva, but talking about Dani Alves is over there now. There's a certain other right-back Brazilian captain who didn't do badly in 1970. Alberto.
You missed one out, Jonathan. Cafu as well.
Oh, Cafu, yeah. Played in 3 World Cup finals.
Yeah.
What a good player he was.
Came on in 94 in the final for Jorginho, who was injured.
Coutinho looking for Gabriel Jesus. Chose the option of finding the runner coming from deep in Paulinho.
Yeah, it was late coming through, Paulinho.
Football coming up for you right here on Good Friday. Vanarama, Macclesfield Town, briefly knocked off the top of the table, but they're at Woking. Second on goal. It's going into tonight's game. Easter Saturday midday. The SP Football League, Scottish Premier, Motherwell against Rangers. It's on 1HT4.
That's nearly as big as this, Jonathan. Woking Macclesfield. Knocked off the top by Sutton United, I think, wasn't it? My old team.
Apologies for that if you've just picked up, not the language of Ephraim, but the language of
Paulinho. His English is good enough to understand a few words. On the Tottenham, of course.
He certainly picked up that phrase at Tottenham. Here's Kimmich. Tony Kroos. Lovely ball. Draxler. About to do a little bit too much on the ball. Number 1 trying to burrow through to the penalty area. Picked up by the goalkeeper. There's a little bit of a problem. Was there? Draxler's on his feet now. They've thrown it out so he could get treatment. Just a word from you on Julian Draxler. We spoke about him on Friday extensively. This is his 42nd international now. Is he doing enough for an established international?
That's more than a handful. I'm not sure we're going to see. I'd be very surprised if Draxler was in any starting 11 for Joachim Löw come the World Cup. I think there are 1 or 2 players who are injured right now. If they get back to anywhere like decent form, would be ahead of him. Certainly Mario Götze and Marco Reus, who's had a terrible time with injuries at Dortmund. Wide man, he's got real dynamic ability in the final third, good goal-scoring ability. Such a wonderful player. It's a shame that he's missed so much football the last couple of years, but he's a guy I think who would be in the starting 11 if he's anywhere near 100%.
Just the way Joachim Löw was talking about him as well, saying that they need to be careful with Reus's preparation for the summer tournament because he was out for such a long time. Schürrle as well might get back in.
Yeah, Reus is the one. If he's fit and plays a few more games between now and the Ennas.
Cross looks for Gomez. A little bit of a misunderstanding there at the back for Brazil. Alisson came, but it was taken out of his hands by Thiago Silva.
Well, you'll take it. You won't like it as a defender. And so you'll take it from the coach's point of view that 2 players are committed, fully committed, taking no chances. Goalkeeper shot, but Thiago Silva thought he could take it, which he did. And Alisson, Becker took him. Not a full-blooded hit, but enough to cause some pain.
I was hinting earlier on, Germany, I'm sure, would have won that World Cup semi-final, even had Thiago Silva been in the Brazilian side, but I don't think they'd have won it by 7 because the collapse in the opening 25 minutes was astonishing, and I don't think he would have allowed that to happen. In comes the German corner.
Well, they played with their heart, didn't they, instead of their heads, the Brazilians, against top-class players. At that stage, in any big tournament, you're asking for trouble.
I think the heart went out of their World Cup challenge when Neymar was injured. There were big pictures of him being flown out by helicopter. Can you remember?
It was a distraction.
Yeah. Marcelo, Olympic silver medalist in 2012, of course, did get some sort of revenge over Germany by winning Olympic gold in 2016. Neymar played the decisive role. By Fernandinho.
Very much a cherished gold medal that for Brazil. Neymar, I think, playing the Copa America that year was.
Cross in, it's a good cross in as well by Goretzka into a very awkward area. Gomez couldn't force the shot on target.
He's done that well so far, Goretzka. He's got into this position and put in a couple of decent deliveries. But once again, Brazil do well enough at the near post. Thiago Silva not fully committed, maybe a little bit shaken still from that challenge from his goalkeeper. Gomez gets across, but actually not completely, not able to really get in front of the Brazilian defender. Brazil scramble it to safety, or force him actually wide, and he's not able to connect it back across goal. As you said, Jonathan, the ideas and the movement in his mind is good enough, but the body's just not quite sharp enough to execute as well as he would have done a couple of years ago. That's where Thomas Muller will thrive, of course, with this kind of service.
A terrific Euro 2012, Gomez won the silver boot there with his 3 goals for Germany. Scored a couple in Euro 16 before he was left out of the squad. And he's just caught offside there.
I'd like to see that one. It's a little bit tighter. Through the middle of Miranda on Thiago Silva. It was tighter, but offside once again. Good ball from Boateng.
I certainly think you'll see Gomez replaced at some stage in the game by Sandro Wagner, who's another striker in his 30s, another late blossomer. He has 5 goals in his 7 internationals for Germany, neither of whom I think will start the World Cup finals, and Timo Werner will very probably start up front for Germany. Stindl is another possibility, but he likes to play off a striker.
He's a support striker, isn't he? He's battling for the role in the side, you'd imagine, with Ozil and Goethe if he's back fit and in the squad.
He could be the big name that misses out, you know, the hero of
yes, good at the last World Cup.
Yeah.
Final scorer.
He struggled since that long illness. It's Boateng. And Rudiger, who's not put a foot wrong, he's not had a great deal to do. They've been very comfortable, the centre-backs. Brazil really haven't offered up anything in terms of a chance after that quite early run by Coutinho. Burton Hart, Dani Alves.
We were talking before the game, Jonathan, about Brazil, how they are better defensively. This attack Peter out if he does, and he does. And how I still think they are lacking some physicality in the final third, that real power. And of course the quality, there's extra speed that the likes of Ronaldinho and Ronaldo and Rivaldo brought to this, to the yellow and blue, or the gold and blue I should say, in the mid-late 90s and noughties. As good as Neymar is, and Coutinho is, and Jesus may become over the years, and Firmino is, I think, a genuine all-time great striker. He's missing from this Brazilian lineup.
Not a tall side either,
No.
Brazil.
Not a particularly physical side,
No.
are they? And those players were all big, 6'1", 6'2", with real athleticism and speed and skill, of course, technique with them.
Not this little man, Coutinho. Casemiro is the tallest outfield player. He's there wearing 5. He's 6'2". 2 centre-backs are 6'1". The keeper's 6'4", but all the other players today under the 6 mark. It's Kimmich.
People may say, well, it's not all about the size, and look what Spain have done over the last 10 or 12 years. Trapp once again struggling to clear his lines.
Big final audition, isn't it, really? Because I think by the time they play those June friendlies, of course, the squad will be known. And Neuer will be given every chance to prove his fitness. He hopes to get matches in for Bayern by the end of the season. And there the Brazilian bench. Football coming your way over the Easter weekend, the return of Premier League football, of course. All the scores of the ball hits the back of the net. BT Sport Score on 1xG, join us from 2:45. And then on Easter Saturday, here's your Easter Saturday tea time viewing, live and exclusive Everton against Manchester City. Everton still chasing a European place, and Manchester City, a win there could leave them 2 points off the title. Sane presumably will be in that starting lineup. Andrew's got an array of talent, hasn't he, to pick from, but he's stopped there by Charles Miranda. Goals for Manchester City this season, Leroy Sane.
I think his consistency, Sane. Let's put aside the brilliance for one side, because if you've got the talent and then at any age you can show that, you can physically handle the big leagues, but his consistency week in, week out, whenever he's picked by Pep Guardiola's, it's pretty amazing for such a young kid.
Marcelo. And a good piece of play by Brazil, not a good passage of players. They tried to clear it away neatly. Here's Gundogan. And Kimmich loves to get forward. Successor, of course, to the great Philipp Lahm, who is here today, World Cup winning captain.
He's versatile, like Philipp Lahm, as well, as you can see him playing in the middle of the park there alongside Gundogan or Cruz. As Philipp Lahm did, of course, on many occasions for both club and country.
Played left back as well. He scored from left back for his country, I seem to remember. Here's Draxler. Too tight in there, really, to Sane, but they get a second chance now. Plattenhardt looking for Gomez at the far post, and coming in was Kimmich. That's exactly what you were talking about, getting forward.
Well, that's a good chance for Kimmich. He didn't really commit to that header. Nice deep cross from Plattenhardt, too big for Gomez. Coutinho just bends his body, bends over and hopes that Kimmich doesn't make a clean connection, which he doesn't. Two good fullbacks, haven't they, Germany, actually?
They have.
To get forward.
But here now is Gabriel Jesus, and the flag has stayed down. Coutinho's there with him. Jesus! Over it goes. Was it the right option? It certainly wasn't the right finish.
Well, he thinks he's offside. He certainly looked it when he's played through. Oh, he's offside. Oh, how's the official missed that? He's only 10 yards away. Just doesn't get his first or his second touch actually out of his feet. Gabriel Jesus. Two defenders squeeze him out, and he's got time. Probably too much time to pick his spot. Goes to bend it over, Kevin Trapp, but balloons it over the crossbar. That was a chance to really break the game open.
6 crucial goals he scored in qualifying. He's on the first team through his qualifiers. And here's Willian. Coming Alves. Willian with the higher cross. Jesus! And the keeper has parried it. It's in the back of the net now, though. Jesus takes the acclaim. Brazil lead with 37 minutes gone in Berlin. I wonder who this goes in off last. And could the keeper have done better, really?
Well, you're a harsh man, Jonathan, from 8 yards out. Bullet header straight at him. Yeah, it comes off his fingertips, if you like. It's already over the line. Gabriel Jesus. he's going to claim it. He's been given it. The referee and his assistant on the far side sort of signal goal belatedly. Tries to throw it back out, and off the hand of Fernandinho, I think, who's coming in, but the ball, I think, is already crossed. What a delivery. Takes out Boateng. Goalkeeper can't come for that. Yeah, it's already crossed the line. Valiant an effort as it was from the goalkeeper, but from that distance, yeah, it comes off his right thumb and maybe forefinger. And it's already a goal.
He actually did well to get to it, didn't he, in the first place?
Unless that just hits you on the chest and barrels back out in the face, sometimes over the real firm part of your hand and goes over the crossbar, but when you're falling back like that, that would have been difficult.
It's the 100th goal Brazil have scored since the World Cup finals of 2014 in 45 internationals.
Well, he missed one a couple of moments earlier, Gabriel Jesus. Unlike all top strikers who believe in himself, don't shy away from it, remain in a good position. Fantastic cross, good crosses tonight, that's the best of the lot. And I'm so pleased we actually got a great reward from the end of it, the opening goal. Question mark about the defender, however, JP. Not too many green jerseys in the middle of this box.
Here's Kimmich. Gundogan, who's struggling a little bit to get to the pace of the game tonight. Brazil beginning to push it around now with a bit of confidence, but they've overplayed. Here's Sane. Goretzka's made the run there. You get the shot away. Tried to cut it back to Gomez, cleared by Marcelo. Now by João Miranda. Extravagant style on the outside of the boot.
When it came off, it was well read by Boateng. Nice and cool under pressure. Lovely weighted pass from Leroy Sané to Goretzka.
Tite's record as coach of Brazil, this is his 19th game. He's only lost the one, 14 wins so far. He won his first 9 qualifiers. He took over from Dunga, you'll remember, after the Copa disappointment of 2016. Kimmich looking for Gomez, awkward one that, facing slightly away from goal.
Yeah, he's already almost waiting for the ball, Mario Gomez. He's some 2 or 3 yards beyond the play and just drifting in there. As you said, Jonathan, very, very difficult then to backhead that one past any decent goalkeeper. But they'll be just a little bit cautious on the home fans in Brazil about the team right now. And I haven't got the stats in front of me, but I'm sure that Carlos Dunga had a pretty impressive record as well going into 2014. Remember what happened there. It was 2010, beg your pardon. Lost to the Dutch. It wasn't too much wrong with that side, either.
We could be seeing a change before World Cup 18 in the world rankings. Brazil have moved up to second again. They dropped way down before World Cup 2014, but that was because they weren't playing competitive games.
I don't think it matters one little bit to these nations where they are in the rankings.
The group once again in the summer, Switzerland, Costa Rica and Serbia. They've only lost one first round game in 37 since 1970. Germany's group, to remind you: Mexico, Sweden and South Korea.
There's a goal again. Just Boateng and Kimmich in attendance. 3-4 Brazilian players who are in a goal-scoring position. Without Coutinho, the widest of them. Straight at the goalkeeper, the header from Jesus, but powerful enough to come off the hands of Kevin Trapp. He's unlucky, really. There's nothing he can do about that. The cross is too good for any keeper to come and really take. Just to Norway, didn't they? Brazil in 1998.
That's absolutely right. Yes. The Scotland's group they were. They kicked off that World Cup against the Scots. I was there in Paris that night. Toni Kroos, who scored a couple in the 7-1 semi-final win 4 years ago. curls it away. There's a good header out by Miranda.
Yeah, they don't do too much wrong in World Cups, do they, Brazil? Every now and again there's a subpar performance in the group stages.
Look, you remember that horrible 74 team they had, the team of bruisers in Germany?
We're not their finest World Cup.
No.
Hard to follow the 70 team now, however, isn't it?
Here's Coutinho. Still think that 70 team was the greatest football side that's ever been. I know Spain dominated Europe and the World Cup in 2008, 2012, but that Brazil side, if you've never seen them, it's a fantastic team. And if you can get a copy of the original FIFA documentary,
I have one.
oh, what a wonderful
It's a good watch.
film that is.
Yeah. Extremely good watch. I think also being the first World Cup in colour as well also helps, doesn't it? The yellow shirts were really in full glory at the time. Germany don't quite seem the same actually when they're not playing in white.
I think it was the first World Cup where there was a sticker collection as well. Soccer Stars, I think it was called.
How about to your more
Well, I know
advanced
there
years
was one because I collected the stickers. All these years on, I'm still collecting stickers for this summer. True story, that. There's Charles Miranda, to Marcelo. Goretzka's done a lot of work up and down this right-hand side. He's had an impressive first half for
done
Germany.
some good work, especially offensively. He's one of the fresher guys in the squad, so you would expect that. He won't be at all convinced that his place on the plane as a member of the squad is guaranteed.
He came into the side in May 2014. He then had a 2.5-year wait for his second international. Captain of the under-21s, runners-up at European Championship at that level. It's a little bit of a chance, but brought away in commanding fashion. It's been a good first half for Rudiger, but it's Brazil who lead with the goal late on in the half as it came through Gabriel Jesus.